And welcome back to our NCAA football win total series. We are moving on here in the Big Ten. We're on to Michigan State. And then Mark D'Antonio had this program rolling. Shows up in 2007. He missed one bowl game. That was in 2016. He went to a college football playoff and finally ends after a Pinstripe Bowl in 2019. Mel Tucker shows up 2020. He's 2-5, but big bounce back in 2021. 11-2 with a Peach Bowl win, 5-7 in 2022, and that brings us to last year. They start 2-0 last year with back-to-back wins over Central Michigan and Richmond. Then Mel Tucker's fired for some off-the-field issues. They lose to Washington, Maryland, at Iowa, at Rutgers, Michigan, and Minnesota. They finally get their first win under the interim coach against Nebraska, a 3-point win. They lose to Ohio State. They win at Indiana by 3, but they would lose to Penn State. A 4-8 season for Sparty. That brings in a brand new head coach. Jonathan Smith comes in from Oregon State, and he has a lot of work to do. First, quarterback, Aiden Childs will be the quarterback. He comes in from Oregon State. He was the backup last year to DJU. Receiving core, Jack Velling comes in from Oregon State as well. Their tight end. Montori Foster will be a go-to guy, and Jerron Glover's back on the outside. The running game is going to be led by Kieran Lynch, the former Rutgers back, 1,157 yards and 12 touchdowns last year for UMass after a year before that at Rutgers. Offensive line, they bring in Tanner Miller from Oregon State, goes along with Andrew Dennis from Illinois, but still a little bit of a turnover there as well. It's a lot of new parts for Michigan State there. The defense was just awful last year, and the front seven is essentially all transfers. They do bring Cal Halliday back. He was the team's leading tackler, but they bring in Jordan Turner from Wisconsin, Wayne Matthews from ODU, Darius Dunnigan from Middle Tennessee, Daquan Dallas from Georgia Tech, Ben Roberts from Oregon, a whole bunch of things. Plus, they lost a lot of guys in the transfer portal. The secondary, they did lose Jaden Mangum to Michigan, but Malik Spencer's back in the nickel. Dylan Tatum's a pretty solid free safety. They bring in some transfers, though, for the corner spots. Overall, for this team, it's going to be about getting the transfers to fit together properly. This is basically a complete rebuild for Michigan State, and it's not the prettiest of schedules for a rebuilding team. It opens up August 31st, Florida Atlantic at home. A lean win in that one. September 7th, they're on the road to Maryland. I don't think they get that one. I think that's a loss. September 14th, they get Prairie View A&M at home. That's going to be a win. That leads us to September 21st. They're at Boston College. I'm going to lean win there. September 28th, Ohio State at home. That's going to be a loss. October 5th, at Oregon. That's going to be a loss. They have their first bye of the year on October 12th. And then October 19th, they get Iowa at home. I just don't think they're going to be able to move the ball against Iowa, and that's a loss. October 26th, they're at Michigan. Again, I don't think the offense will be able to move the ball. That's a loss. On the 2nd of November, it's Indiana at home. I have that as a toss-up. Both teams are bringing in a lot of transfers. I think Indiana's just going to be a little bit better. I'm going to give them the loss. November 9th is another bye. November 16th at Illinois. I think they're going to struggle there. That's a loss. November 23rd, home against Purdue. I think they're going to get one of their last two games. If they get one of the last two, I think it's this one. We're going to lean win here. And then November 30th, Rutgers at home. A lean loss on that. Over-under set in a lot of places it's sitting at 4.5 with the over slightly favored. We have found a 5 out there, and that's what we're going to take. We're going to take the under 5. I really do think this is a 4-8 team. It could be a 3-9 team. It might win 5 games, but that means we just get the push. We're going to take the under 5 at -125 at Caesars. If you like this content, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.